if you've been having trouble with your putting lately, whether it's just like way too many three putts, you don't really have control, it's not predictable, the ball's not starting on line, any of those things, if you have two golf clubs or two alignment sticks and 5 minutes of time, you can get much better very quickly. Hi, I'm PGA teaching professional Ben Nelson, and let's show you how we can use these two sticks to transform your putting swing. Let's first start though with what is tending to happen and why that putting swing is so inconsistent. So when I see most players putt, what I tend to see is that we have too much wrist action. The wrists are taking over and moving way too much. When we do that, what you're seeing is the putter can open and close a lot, and I can also change the loft and move the putter up and down a lot by bending my wrist. From 10 feet away, the amount that you have to aim left and right before you miss the hole entirely, the amount you can go left and right with the putter face, is 1 degree. You got 1 degree of variance from 10 feet before you're missing the hole entirely with the aim. And so when I use my wrist, what that does is that very rapidly changes where the putter face aims and also how much loft we have. So everything moves very quickly and it's very hard to predict. These micro movements make a big, big change in where the ball goes. So what we really want to try and do when we putt is we want to try our best to take that motion out. I want to try and simplify my putting action as best as I can. When I putt, I don't really want to use my hips and move backward and forward like this. I don't really want to bend my elbows and move this way like this. I don't really want to use my wrists when I putt and move like this. I don't really want to sway side to side and move my head that way like this. All of those things are because they're big, big levers that help me create speed, but when I putt, I don't really need any of those things. So because the distance that we're trying to hit the ball and the amount of force that we need is so low, what we really ultimately want to try and do is limit the number of moving parts and pieces when I putt. So really all we're trying to do is rock our shoulders backward and forward. We're trying to keep our our elbows nice and quiet. We're trying to keep our wrists nice and quiet. We're trying to keep our head in place. We're trying to keep our our hips from moving. And really all we're trying to do is move backward and forward, rocking our shoulders like that. So that is where these two sticks come in. If all I ever want to do is rock my shoulders backward and forward, well then these two sticks can be really helpful for helping me isolate and limit how much my elbows and my wrists move. So take one in each hand. I've got the sticks. The clubs are also resting on the ground right behind me. But take them and prop them underneath your shoulders just like that in your armpits. It's going to create an X like this. Then we're going to take our golf club and we're going to hold it directly in between, just like this. So now there's a focal point where three things are touching. I've got my stick 1, stick 2, and grip. And I'm holding those in my hands. And also what you'll see is that these sticks are also moving down my forearms, just like that when I have it set up. So try and put your forearms down that line. It's going to feel and support your elbow, and it won't let your elbow bend. I can't really do that without letting that thing fall. So I'm going to prop that in there. I'm going to do my best to hold on to all three of these. It's not going to feel great when I do it, but again, it's just for the feel and for training the motion. So now that I'm doing that, if I have the two sticks in there, all I want to try and do is rock backward and forward, and I'm not going to fight against this. If I do that, you see how the club kind of hits the stick. If I do that, it feels kind of awkward and bad on my wrists because now my wrists are having to kind of fight and hit these sticks. So get that grip, get that putter lined up, and rock those shoulders backward and forward. It should be a very even motion. The putter moves backward and forward the same speed and at the same length. We have another drill for that that we'll cover in just a second as well. But just work on this. Put those in there and just motor backward and forward. Muscle memory. Train your body by giving it some aids. So if we can do that, I've got my golf ball right behind me. You can hit putts like this. I wouldn't hit a ton of them like this because it's sort of awkward to grip it, but that's the idea. Rock backward and forward, keeping those sticks. The sticks prevent you from bending your elbows and bending your wrists and making your putting stroke much more complicated than it needs to be. It allows us to simplify and isolate our chest motion like that. And that's really going to ultimately allow you to become much more specific and much better at that very simple motion of putting, which will ultimately improve your distance control, your speed, your aim, your direction, all of that, which is going to lead to fewer three putts and lower scores. So until next time, I'm Coach Ben Nelson. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Always happy to help. So again, until next time, thank you so much. Go grab those two sticks and start practicing.